I'm worried. I'm worried that money is starting to ruin sports and ruin, and I think the disease, the BCS, I will credit the BCS. The BCS has been the best system in the history of college football in determining a number one team at the end of the season, determining a true national champion. But now, and the balance, and for the last decade, the balance of power has been relatively even. Has been even. You had your 6 power conferences. They had their own area of the country, and it's been relatively even throughout. But I am worried that all this moving to the Big Ten and the Texas. Can you imagine Texas facing USC every year as a conference matchup? Yeah, I could get excited. I get excited for that all day. But what's there in the Pac-10 or what's in the Big Ten that is not in the Big 12? Why is there a reason for Nebraska to move to the Big Ten? What is there that the Big Ten has to offer that the Big 12 can't offer? Why is it that Texas and Oklahoma, Colorado can move to the Pac-10? What is the difference between the Pac-10 and the Big 12? What is the difference? They're both power conferences, or was power conferences. Both conferences offered elite competition. So what's the difference? The difference is money, ladies and gentlemen. The difference is money, and it's going to corrupt this sport. And it's going to corrupt college athletics. You know why? Because now, that's all that conferences want. All they want is the bigger piece of the pie. And fans of Texas, or even fans of the current teams that's in those conferences right now, Ohio State, Oregon. I'm not sure you should be happy about this expansion. I'm not sure you should be happy, because now there's more teams for you to go through to win your conference. There's more teams to go through, especially if you're in a Pac-10. Now, in the Pac-10, because even with them possibly having 16 teams, the possibilities of the Pac-10 having a conference championship game is slim to none. Still, and yet they want 2 spots in the BCS, which is a problem, because remember all them years, them little schools, the Boise States, the TCUs of the world, the Utahs, they don't win in this. They still don't win. They still they have to hope at this point that the Big 12 is completely demolished, which is not a guarantee. I'm really honestly am not quite convinced that all of this activity is going to take place this off season. I don't think, me personally, I don't think it's going to happen. It'll be exciting to watch if it does, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it's going to be disheartening to watch money just take over the sport. And I asked earlier, what's there in the Pac-10 and the Big 10 that is not in the Big 12? Look at it geography-wise, ladies and gentlemen. What markets, what television markets is the Pac-10 involved with? What markets is the Big 10 involved with? If you look at the Big 10, even though there's not a team in, even though they don't have a college in Chicago, their headquarters is in Chicago, which is the third largest TV market in the country. You have Chicago, all in that whole region. You have all of these money makers. And if Notre Dame is in the Big 10, theoretically, with NBC having a contract with Notre Dame, you theoretically have 2 contracts. So that's more money coming in. That's more exposure. That's more exposure to the markets such as Chicago, such as New York City. Because, quite frankly, in football, and obviously this spans more into other sports, but really this is all basically for football and maybe basketball. But all of this, think about it. In football right now, the ACC is down. The Big East is down. So, what are the games in New York City? What is being shown on ABC in New York City? What is being shown is games from the Big 10. Not the Big 12, but from the Big 10. In the Pac-10, you have LA. LA, the second highest market. The second highest. If you're able to bring in Texas and Oklahoma, Texas Tech, all of Texas schools, you bring in Dallas, you bring in Houston, which are all top markets, you bring them in, the Big 12 is finished. What are they left with? What's their biggest market? Kansas? Iowa State? Ooh, we have a problem on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We have a problem on our hands that the ripple effect of this is so huge, even though there's still a lot remain to be seen. How will this work out? How will you're gonna have 2 divisions in the Pac-10? What's gonna happen with everything else in college football? Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. The Pac-10, this is the first time since 1978, 32 years, that there's been a new team in the Pac-10. And of course, the number behind the word Pac, or the number behind the word 10, or the word big, really doesn't matter, because the Big 10 for the last decade had 11 teams. Wow. More next segment.